And good evening, succulentiers! This is Ox, the gardener. I am here with another video. This is going to be the first of a two-part series. The first video will be called Chop. The second video will be called Prop. So we're going to go through the process of chopping and propping some succulents. The second video, I'm actually going to create a prop tray like I like to make and I like to use. Coca-Cola, pumice, good stuff. And we're going to set that up and hopefully get it going. I got another little grow light. I got some trays. I got some stuff I need to prop. I got some leaves from a seller on Etsy. Sucky Stop. I got a bunch of Echeveria leaves. Oh, look. And she was supposed to give me a leaf off of this guy, Echeveria Suyon. I got a whole little rosette. Look at that. Oh, it's fantastic. I got some cool guys in here. I've got some, what do we call this guy? This is why I bought the stuff from her. Tolimenensis. Two little leaves in there. Said I was only supposed to get one. I got all kinds of stuff. Sedum suaviolens, Orange Monroe, Snow Shower, Echeveria Morning Dew, Echeveria Snow Bunny, Echeveria Hoshikage, Echeveria Black Sabbath, Echeveria Run Philly, something like that. Echeveria La Bamba, Echeveria Morning Dew. Walk me out in the morning dew, my buddy. Doodle-doo. Anyway, I'm really excited about that. We're going to make some new plants out of here. So the first thing we're going to work with in the chop video is this, we got this little plant here. It is a Graptivaria Mirabelle. Graptivaria Mirabelle? Yeah, Graptivaria. I don't think it's Graptipel. I'm pretty sure it's Graptivaria. And look at this. Look at this. It's healthy. It's got nice little rosettes. They're happy. They're cool. But holy crap, those stems. All right, so we got to do something about these stems. So I don't know if this plant was etiolated, which I'll explain what that is in just a second here, or whether it was just a mother plant, she picked off a whole bunch of leaves or what. But we're going to change it up. We're going to fix it. And we're going to turn this into at least 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 plants. 8 plants, something like that. So we're going to prepare these for propagation, and then we're going to pot up that little bottom part, because we're just going to cut some stuff up on this bottom part, and we don't really need to worry too much about waiting for him to dry. The other bits we do. Okay, so why would you want to chop up a perfectly good plant? Well, there's 3 reasons that come to my mind straight off. One is copies. You can make copy of these things. These succulents are fantastic. You want to make a copy of it? Yank a bit of it apart, throw it in throw it in a tray and wait for a little bit, and then when it has some roots on it, throw in some soil and you will get another plant out of it. That's fantastic. And I'm sure there's a lot of plants that work like that, but I got some propagations in progress now. I got my prop tray over here. We're going to save that for the next video, but I do have a couple of these little string of pearls prop pots going on. Dropping stuff all over the ground. A little string of pearls. Look at that, little propagations. These came out of the tray. They're living in these little pots now. They're happy guys. We're going to turn them into new plants. So I made some copies of a plant right there. Oh, excuse me, those are string of tears. I don't have any string of tears in the backyard yet. That's why I made copies of those for the backyard. And for whomever else I might want to bestow strings of tears. Tears upon them. Senecio tears, not real ones. Oh, I've had enough real tears in my life. I don't like those. Anyway, enough melodrama. So we're going to take this guy and we're going to cut him up. So copies is one. The other thing is etiolation. Etiolation is when you have a succulent and it's growing really fast and getting really tall because it's trying to get more light. And it's thinking it's behind a rock or it's behind a tree, and it's like, if I just grow a little bit more, the sun will be shining on me. And usually it's on a shelf in a somewhat dark room, and you got an Echeveria. And Echeverias, if it's this tall, you want to have a whole bunch of rosettes on it. If you got one rosette that's tall and it's got like 9 leaves on it, man, you're in for a bad time. Anyway, so the last thing is rot. You might want to chop up a plant because, say, it was potted in some bad soil. This is perfectly fine soil here. But it was planted in some very moisture-retaining soil. You put some, you put a bunch of crassulas in some Miracle Grow potting mix, and it just rotted the bottom half. But the top half might still be good. So another way we can go about it is we can chop that healthy stuff off, chuck that rotten garbage in the trash, and be done with it. And then we take that other stuff, we let it dry off, and then we try to propagate it, try to get it to grow some roots. And so we're going to go through the first part. So I will use a little YouTube magic, and we will go to my work area. So, here we are, a work surface. Oh, yeah. Oh, hey, yeah, check this out. Echeveria subcellis flower stalks. Oh my God, they're gigantic. So what we might try to do with some of these is we're going to try to take some of these top leaves off, and we're going to try to see if we can get to grow some roots. It's kind of an older stalk. It's kind of been drying for a while, so I don't know if that's going to happen. But on the very bottom of these are some roots. On both of these, some roots. And I'm thinking, if it's got roots, it can go in soil. So we're going to cut those off too. We're going to cut those off. We're going to pull some leaves off. We're going to do all kinds of crazy stuff. Okay, so first off, we're going to get to this guy. The first thing you want to do when working on a plant with a cutting implement, and you use that cutting implement on other things that need to be cut up, you take your implement, and I have just a little cheap pair of scissors here from a little succulent kit, and it does job. You want to wipe those down with some rubbing alcohol. You want to clean any funk on there, any disease that may have come from another plant. You do not want to send it to a new plant. I have experience with that. I spread what I believe to be tomato mosaic virus amongst 3 of my tomato plants, and they all got really sad and pitiful. And so, yeah, I try to keep my stuff a little cleaner now. So we wipe that down. So now we got this plant right here. So what I want to do is I want to take these little rosettes, and I want to put those in a pot. So I need to remove them, because I need a deep pot if I were to pot them up like that, right? A big old, I could put some dahlias in that pot. So we're just going to go here. We're going to leave about 1 inch. Maybe I'll come down underneath this little leaf node here. And we're just going to give it a little chippy choppy. That's it. And we're going to go down about 1 inch. See if I can leave a couple leaf nodes in there. And we're going to give a little chippy choppy. And we're going to do that to all 4 of these guys right here. Oh, little leaf. Little leaf. Don't get in the way. That whole stem is falling off. That's okay. And I'll come down behind, under that leaf node. Under that leaf node right there, because maybe some roots want to come out of that guy. Chippy choppy. Chippy choppy. Doing the work. So we're going to take these little guys here. Now look. Look it. Now wouldn't they look nice? In a little cluster. In a little pot. Right above the top dressing. Just kind of like that. And then you got some Graptivaria minibells in your little pot there. But, oh my God, don't do it yet! See this stuff here? That's fresh and juicy. You stick that in the pot right now with some soil, and unless that soil is completely dry, I mean, if the soil's completely dry, yeah, you know, you're probably not going to do anything wrong. But I don't recommend it at all. Go ahead and take this guy and grab your prop dry out and root production tray. Dry out and root production tray, what? So yeah, this tray right here, whenever I get a prop, that's what happens to it. It goes right in here. And it just sits in here. Now we're going to do a little bit more with these leaves here, but for dramatic effect, I just throw my stuff in this tray. All right, and so what I'm looking for is for a leaf, like this little Polydorus leaf. from Echeveria pulidoris. Look at that. Well, I don't know if you can see that right there. He's got some roots. He's got some roots. He doesn't have a baby yet. I'd like to have him a baby. But you know what? He's got roots. And so you could put him in the quar. So we're going to put that guy in the quar in our prop video. Now, another thing we're going to do is these rosettes here, we got some leaves on the bottom. And I want to try to do a little propagation of some of these leaves as well. And they kind of face down to make it a little trickier to plant up when they dry out. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull these leaves off. And we're going to try to get some nice, good pull-offs here. So what you're looking for when you pull a leaf off a plant, first off, technique. You're going to kind of want to come down with it, down away from the top of the plant, kind of give it a little stress on that, and then you're going to go sideways with it, down and sideways. Now, bam, look at that. That's a nice, clean leaf right there. What you're looking for in the end is a little bit of an eyeball. You want that eye, and that's going to be some meristem tissue, and that's gonna grow a new plant. Hopefully, that's what you're hoping for. And so you take that leaf, and now that's a nice little leaf. These are pretty healthy. And so when you're propagating Echeveria and Graptopetalum, what have you, you don't want the dried off old leaves from the bottom. Like these here, I didn't want to tear the plant apart that these came off of, but they needed to come off anyway. So I'm gonna see if something happens from them. These are from Echeveria Motherhood that I planted up for wifey, my wife Josie. So you don't really want to go for those. You want these nice healthy leaves from like the top 2/3 of the plant. And so this guy, we're just going to put him in there. And so I'll go through and I'll just continue down and sideways, down and sideways, down and sideways. Oh, you don't want that. You don't want that. See that? That's bad. That stem is garbage. That leaf is garbage, and you don't want that hanging out on your stem either, because that's just going to rot. So that's a bye-bye. We'll put that over here in the dry out pile, and we'll do a couple more on here, down and across. So I'm not going to process the rest of these on camera because you've seen it. You know what to do now, right? Yeah, you can follow instructions and directions. YouTube. Woohoo, YouTube! YouTube taught me how to replace the motor in my dryer and other things on my washing machine, some kind of cog tooth thing to make the agitator spin. Anyway, Graptopetalum mini bell. So I'm going to process the rest of those, and they're going to sit in here, and they're going to sit for a good week or so. And that's going to dry out and callus over. You want that to completely dry out and callus over. And then, and only then, do you want to put it in soil, because you don't want to expose the interior of the plant to any of the harshness of the outside world. So you let that callus over, completely dry out, and then you can go about planting up. I wish I had a stem in here that was dried out, but I don't. So I'm going to process it. Oh, look at that, Tony. My team member Tony, he brought me a little, I think it's a burro's tail, but it's got a little bit of roots on this tiny little rosette. So we're going to throw that in the prop tray next video as well. All kinds of things for the prop tray. Oh, look at these guys. I got this. This is kind of cool. I don't know if this is going to work. I never tried to prop these before. Senecio stapiliformis, I believe. So, yeah, we're going to see what happens there. It's all just trial and or error. Hopefully more trial than error. Anyway. Okay, so now that we've got our stuff drying out in there and we got these stems here, I'm going to take this guy and just set him off to the side. So here, this guy here, that's a lot still. That's a lot still to put in a pot. Let's go ahead and pull that out. Look at all that pumice. Yeah. She's like, I don't like the potting soil. I like the pumice. Pumice. Okay, so now we got this little, look at this. There's roots coming off this broken stem. There are roots coming off this broken stem. Now, Graptopetalums are kind of cool because they'll just kind of grow roots off the stem. Look at that. All right, so there's a plant. It's a little tall. So, yeah, it's a little tall. We're gonna do that to it. I'm gonna do that to it. Oh, it's kind of dry. That's kind of dry. And so that was the downside. And so I got that little branch with some roots, and this downside on this stem, I'm just going to put a little Sharpie mark so I know which side is down, because you don't want to go putting the top of a plant in the soil. It's not an ostrich. Ostriches don't do that either. It's all wives' tale. Anyway, so we got this little setup here. God, those are some long sticks, Ox. What are we going to do about that? Well, I'll tell you what we're going to do about that. We're going to get rid of them. We don't need them. So I want about 2 inches of stem here to work with, I think. So we're going to go about to right here, and we're just going to chop it off. These scissors are not good for cutting thick stems. I will chop up my hand before I chop up the stem. Oh, man. Okay, hopefully that was the bottom. I might have to go look at a replay on that one. Oh, he spun around. That was the bottom. Okay, so bottom side, bottom side, bottoms up. No, not in this case. We'll pretend that's the bottom side. So now I got these stems here, and we're gonna let them dry out too. All right, stemmies, go hang out in the tree. All right, root stemmy. You know what, we'll just stick you in this pot. We're gonna put all this stuff in right here. And so now I got this. It's just a little sadness stick. It's a sadness stick, but you know what? There's plants hidden in there. And they just want to come out. Ox, let us out. I think I might do a little artisticness on this and cut it down just a little tiny more on the sides. We'll let the center stem stand proud. So theoretically, those tops are going to callus off. And it will build up some internal pressure inside, and it will start sending out offshoots out the side here, where these little bud eyes on a rose, but leaf spots. There's a technical name for it, and I can't remember it. So anyway, we got that. So we're going to set this stuff aside because Ox has I made a little premix here, We got some bark pieces in here, This is some well-draining mix I just put together. Just you see me do this in another video. That's just some succulent soil mixed with some bonsai jack, mixed with some perlite. Or excuse me, not perlite. No, not perlite. Perlite's okay, but it's messy. Yeah, we'll just throw some of this small stuff in here too. Yeah, we'll just kind of make it look good, make it look like potting soil should. Yeah. Oh, look at this. I got this little Lola from someone too. Yeah, that's kind of nice. It's just a little guy. It needs help, but I am going to help it. Yeah. Oh, yeah, too. I didn't show this off. Look at this. Crassula quadrangulus. Oh, yeah. Crassula quadrangulus. He's freaking cool. Look at all the freaking offshoots he's putting out. Okay, anyway. Get back to the task at hand, Ox. You mind flopping all over the place. Can't concentrate on things. Okay, so we got a little terracotta pot here. A little terracotta pot. And I got these guys. I like these guys. They're from Amazon. They're cheap, but they're little mesh pads, and they go in pots. Fantastic. No. And we're going to put some of this in here. And then I want to kind of figure, I kind of want him to sit kind of like that. Let's work some of these bottom roots down into this soil right here. I like to use terracotta pots for my works in progress and experiments and stuff. Terracotta is fantastic because it breathes and it allows the soil to breathe. It allows the soil to dry out quicker than, say, like a glazed ceramic pot or a plastic pot. That can be both a good and a bad thing depending on what you're growing, but for succulents, it's pretty amazing. So I'm just going to fill this guy out a little bit. And see, he's kind of tilty like that. I'm not going to be super gentle with him. I mean, I'll be honest. I'm just going to move some soil around here until he's sticking straight up and down. Okay. So, yeah. It's not much to it. So this stuff drains really quick. And I'm going to water this guy up pretty soon, actually. Maybe I'll water it tonight. I got to water the prop trays and the plants. It's Friday. So I got to give the plants a drink before I go for the weekend. And I have some plants on a 2 times a week schedule. Prop trays on a 3 time a week schedule-ish. And a lot of plants are on a Friday only schedule. So I got to do that before I go. And wifey, my lovely lady, wants me to go home and help her with the children. So I need to get on my... get in gear and do that. Okay, so yeah, that's it. That is what's left of a Graptovaria Mirabelle, excuse me. And he has been chopped complete. So out of that, we got 1 plant, 3 stems. 1, 2, 3, 4. Very viable stems. I have no reason to believe that these will not turn into plants. I have had very good luck with success and patience. Luck with success? I have very good success with patience and my prop tray. So those guys, so we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We got 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 plants. Not to mention those 4 leaves I have over there and these other leaves that I'm going to pull off a couple of these other rosettes. So that's 9 plants to start with. And then, who knows what those leaves will turn into. Those leaves could turn into multiple plants as well. And so thank you for watching me do this stuff. Hopefully it was beneficial to someone. We went over the reasons why we would want to chop. Copies, etiolation, correction of funky growing plant, and rescue, some rot rescue maybe. Been out in the rain too long, bad soil. Someone gave you a plant, didn't know what they're doing, you want to help it, you want to fix it. Those are good reasons of why you would want to chop. Anyway, let me, a little YouTube magic again. So, welcome back. All right, so hopefully that cut was successful. I'm new to cuts. I'm new to video editing, so it'll be a first for everyone right there. Ox video cut editing stuff happening anyway. Hopefully, if you've stuck around, you're still listening to me, hopefully you've enjoyed this video and you learned some things and take a little bit of fear out of the process, because I mean, it's just a plant. There's always more. But go ahead and give it a try. It's not that hard. Here's our little guy right there. Our little trio o sticks. Yeah, tres stiques. Sorry, I'm bad Spanish. Don't make up words, Robert. I'm sorry, Josie. I love you. I'm sorry I make up words in Spanish. And then we got our little guys. And so once all these little props dry out, we're going to plant them up. We'll plant these up in the future here. And as I said, this is the first of a 2-part video. This has been Chop with Ox the Gardener. Thank you for watching, and take care. Love you, and bye-bye.